are you serious right now, bro?
Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, Broncos country, do you see what I see? I see a number one placed team in the NFL. I see a 11-game winning streak. I see a 12-game home winning streak. I see Bo Nix, the future best quarterback in the NFL, trending. I mean, oh my goodness gracious. What a fantastic 34-26 victory over those Green Bay Fudge Packers. Riding high here on the Buck Your Feelings post-game show. We got a lot of positive things to get into. A little bit of around the NFL as well. You know, 'tis the season that we are scoreboard watching for playoff seeding. But we'll get into all that here on the Buck Your Feelings post-game show. Let's get going.
You can stand up and salute in Denver. The Broncos have done it.
Oh my goodness gracious! Can we be any more high than it gets right here, gentlemen? Oh my gosh! Welcome to the Buck Your Feelings post game show. I am your host, Jay Weaver here. My goodness gracious, this is insanity, boys! Like. I'm a little speechless over what we just ensued. I want to get all your feelings bucked here. Johnny the Mile High Viking right next to me, doing the marathon man himself. And then below, half of the Oukast, the wild Oukast as they are, Tim Dog. Oh my gosh, gentlemen. Victory over the Fudge Packers, 34-26. How are we feeling to be the best team in the league?
Frauds who? Frauds who? Frauds who?
Oh.
Say it again. I feel like freaking Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction right now. Say fraud again, mother. Say it.
Yep.
Like
little Heisenberg action. Say my name.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tim Dog, how you feeling, man?
Bro, oh my gosh. Words can't describe what I feel right now. And throughout everything that this Orange and Blue Network's been talking about all week to this Green Bay, we all had great points. We all had a little iffiness. We all had like, oh, we got this. But look at what we did. Doubted all year. And what Johnny just said, we are not frauds. So for anyone this point on to consider us a team that's not as good as our records, kick rocks, man. You know what, Jay? I would tell you what, man. I'm in mile high right now.
Dude, it's pretty insane to think about where we have been, man. When we were in the back room getting onto this, I was just talking to Johnny about, man, do you remember the times of like Nathaniel Hackett and the feelings we had back then of being the laughing stock of this league? And looking around and scoreboard watching today, you saw a lot of blowouts. You saw a lot of NFL teams that are just, they're done already, man. This is a waste of the next 4 weeks for most NFL teams. And I remember that feeling to the pit of my core here. And it's just so amazing to have finally the back end come around here. And we are the number 1 team in the NFL. And not only are we the number 1 team in the NFL, and we are going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC, we are playing complete football. And we're playing the style of winning that we are now compared to earlier in the season is definitive. It's much better than the marginal victories that we have seen, in the past of this season. Like, this is a game today that we dominated. Like, we played all 3 facets mistake-free, pretty much. Like,
and I absolutely agree with you on that, Jay, because we were all wondering, is this playbook going to open up? And it little by little, from Commanders to Raiders, little by little, right? Now you got Green Bay. You can't do that. You have to make a move. You have to make a move. So in everything that you just said, Jay, 110% agree, because we handled the ball. There was some questionable things like going for the 2-point, going for it on 4th down, which I don't agree with. We pulled it out. Yeah, number 1. But I had a couple heart attacks watching the series of events because maybe it might unfold. But you know what? Our offense, to go and do that against Green Bay, and you don't ever want to see injuries, but we were doing stuff with him on the field. So I'm gonna say we are a group team where we're a field unit to go on and take on anybody. And now you got to go through Mile High once the playoffs come.
Johnny, how you feeling about the 34 points that our offense put up? Bo Nix.
Well, first of all, I want to digress real quick to what you were saying when I had to step away for a moment. And that was to see where this network was to where we are now and how we've stuck it out. This network, we founded this network in the middle of the Broncos drought. When, when everything was just, after post Peyton Manning had fallen apart, and it was terrible. Every week in, week out, loss. Doing these shows, it's like, oh, God, when's it going to end? And now we're to a point where all season long, it's been a green W above your head there, Jay, and it feels good. We're finally there. We're finally able to do these shows where we get to have excitement and not just sit there and criticize and mope and whine. It feels so damn good. Now, 34 points. It's the most put up by the Broncos in a single game this season, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a statement. It was a statement game. Not just in that, hey, we're not frauds. Because let's look at how the national media has talked about the Broncos this entire season. Underdogs every time as a team, but so hypercritical of Bo Nix. Being like, oh, I don't think he's got it. Sophomore slump. He's this, he's that. He's da-da-da-da-da. This was not just a statement game saying, hey, we're the best team in the NFL. Frauds who? But Bo Nix is the real deal. I mean, he was 23 for 34, 302 yards, 0 interceptions, 4 tutties in the air today. That's Bo being like, no, I am not who you say I am. And I loved every second of it.
Yeah, man. It's insane where I guess we had a lot of expectations for this team coming in. And, obviously we've shattered the over-under for this team already. Like, we've already exceeded expectations, I think, wildly that we thought coming in. And we had high expectations coming in. But the way that we are putting it together at the time of year that we are, as well as, knock on wood, everybody, but in a Sunday football marred with injuries throughout the NFL, we have continued to come through pretty dang clean on our bill of health. We go through another week here without any major injury. Every week we see the injury report coming in versus the opponent, and I always see our line items at least half of our opponents. And that has been a, Bo Lowry, where's his game ball? Let's foreshadow that. But, our team has been developing, and we've seen the arc because we've been able to have continuity aside from injury, that man, we really have a complete football team, all facets. And today was kind of the fruit of, the development throughout this season of finally starting to see complete games. It was like last week, but this week actually had fireworks with the efficiency. But it was still at the same base level efficiency as last week versus the Raiders. And that's super encouraging. We can do it both ways.
Well, and this was a very balanced game, okay? Going into this game, these two teams were about as balanced as two teams could be facing off against one another, especially at this point in the season, right? And if you looked, I don't know if you really, I kind of went over it towards the end of the fourth quarter there on the live game time show, but the how even almost everything was between these two teams in this game just goes to show how much better the Broncos executed, because the Packers had 19 first downs. The Broncos had 21 first downs total. All right. Let's see. Turnovers, we won that 2-1, but it's still pretty close to even. Time of possession was literally a difference of 30 seconds, right about 30 seconds. It was Broncos possessed for 30 minutes and 32 seconds. The Packers possessed for 29 minutes and 28 seconds. So we did not dominate time of possession, which I had actually called out in the pregame show saying was a key to winning this game. We did not dominate it. This game was so ridiculously even between both teams, offensively, defensively, special teams, so even. The fact that we came out with an 8-point victory over them just goes to show we are the better team.
Yeah. I want to get both of your thoughts on this real quick. I made this correlation during the game, and it was weird how I thought it at this time that this play happened, and it came to pass. That the game was definitely up in the air, and we weren't necessarily fully confident that man, we're going to win this game until that Patrick Surtain interception. That was one of those plays that was a swing play of this entire game. And we've seen this story before when it comes to a PS2, lifting all boats, moment. And it was versus the Raiders last year, where he got the pick six and the entire game and the entire season turned around. And tonight, that PS2 interception that Watson got hurt on that bomb was literally the catalyst to pivot us into a direction of we're not losing this game. Our stars are not going to allow us to lose this game. Tim, what did that moment mean to you? Did you feel that same way as me on that PS2 interception?
You guys don't want to hear about my life during the PS2 interception. So check this out. This is why you tune into the play-by-play. My cable glitched. I'm like, what is going on? I'm freaking out. I'm like, switch the antenna. I'm going to the antenna, and it had every channel, but I can't say the network, but you know which one I'm talking about. And I had no clue. And all I hear is Johnny, PS2 interception, or it might have been Rob. Correct me.
It was me.
Yeah. And I'm like, if I wasn't listening to that play-by-play, I would have never knew what happened. So to everybody out there, that play-by-play can save your life, because I had no clue what was going on through my eyes, but hearing it, Johnny, I swear you guys saved my life. And I'm trying to get back, and it finally came back together, and I'm like, yeah, it was an interception. So I celebrated about 2 minutes later than you guys. I will be real about that. But you know what? That PS2 interception game changer. Game changer, because you know what? We all said this on this network. We all say this through individual talks. We need turnovers. And look what we got. Riley, PS2. I mean, things were happening. I don't believe that Riley I don't mean to go off subject, Jay. I'm sorry, but I don't believe that was a pass interference.
Yeah.
In my eyes. I really don't. But that PS2 set the mark. This is where you go win it or you don't. Are you gonna choke? Are you gonna succeed?
Yeah, no, that play. And first of all, I disagree that it was a pass interference by Riley Moss, but not one that was egregiously made by him. It was his opponent basically altering his his physical position to turn it into a pass interference. You know what I mean? Like they were fighting. Yeah, exactly. It was not on Riley. He was playing the right way. The other dude was like, I'm going to move my arm this way, which is going to move your arm this way, which is going to result in a PI. It was smart. It was smart. But I digress. To that play, that particular play, we see it all the time in the NFL. Momentum changes. All it takes is one thing. The previous drive, the Broncos had gone 3 and out on offense. And we were sitting here going, oh no. Oh no. And then PS2 does his thing, and it's a perfect example for Jordan Love learning the lesson. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah. Throw
at PS2, you're gonna pay. And he throws to PS2. PS2 brings it down, and then you literally see that momentum change. Not just defensively, but the moment that happened, the entire sideline of the Broncos sideline exploded. The offense comes on the field. And they tear down that field. Not just little dink and dunk plays. They tear down that field and get a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And that, these momentum changes, they cannot be overstated. The Broncos did exactly what they needed to do. I said it as soon as it happened. We now need to capitalize and capitalize on that turnover and put points on the board with it. And they did more than just put points. They put, some points. They put up a touchdown.
Well, Johnny, like how you were saying about like Jordan Love is gonna bleep and find out, right?
Yeah.
Did you see him on that sideline? He hasn't seen a defense like this yet.
Nobody has. Like that's the thing. Like they keep talking about the Texans, but I mean, we beat the Texans.
Yeah.
Our defense outplayed the Texans' defense. Why is it still a question? Who the best defense in the NFL is?
But you can see his face on the sideline. Correct me, Jay, if I'm wrong. He was like, "Oh man, I did not see this coming."
Nah,
because Green Bay had a good fan base. I'm not gonna lie. Green Bay always does. That's expected.
They travel. They're like the Steelers. Exactly. They always have a fan base that travels.
But you can see Jordan was like, "Oh my gosh, like." This is not what I saw in the game film. You know what I mean? In the practice film, so he once again, to Johnny's point, he bleeped and he found out.
Well, and I would be frustrated if I was a Packers fan because there is a correlation between game call strategy from a Matt LaFleur standpoint. It's a very common thing that we bitch about Sean Payton of like, why do you just stop randomly doing something that's successful and pivot to something completely different when, like, if it ain't broke, why fix it? And Josh Jacobs was gashing us and doing extremely well in one-on-one early in the game. And then they just said, never mind. Let's go shotgun every play, and we're going to toss it around to all our wide receivers and tight ends. It was crazy. I'd be pissed if I was the Packers for that.
I didn't know Jacobs had hands like that, man. That touchdown.
He is the Bronco killer, man. This is the first time we've ever beaten him. Obviously most of it being the Raiders, but like he's been our kryptonite his entire career. So it feels good to get a victory against him. But man, if given the opportunity, he could have probably had another touchdown in him in this game, but they just completely abandoned him. Made no sense.
Yeah,
I like your point on that though. It's like because Sean Payton does the same thing. We're just gonna stop doing what's working, right?
Look, they outsmart themselves, because they think the defense is going to make some big adjustment because that's what, they've seen thus far in the game. So we got to pivot before they pivot. And, sometimes you don't need to pivot, man. Just keep on going.
Like, I'm a firm believer in don't pivot until you're forced to pivot.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Dictate the game.
I get that football in terms of if you're equating to like a board game is a game of is the only one out there that's truly like a game of chess, where you're having to constantly outthink how your opponent is planning things and then going to execute in order to outplay them. It's a game of chess, and I understand that the thought, the desire to do those early pivots to throw people off, but at the same time, when something is successful, momentum is everything. And when you have that momentum, ride that momentum. It will stop. Eventually, the momentum will stop, and that's when you make your pivot. That's when you make your change, and you catch them in another way.
But as Jay said, they overthink it. They outsmart themselves, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're like, before they do this, we're gonna switch it up, and then it's like, whoa, this was a great game, and all of a sudden now it's kind of you know what I mean? And
you took yourself out of the game.
Yeah. So,
I agree. I will say this. While the Packers did take themselves out of the game that way, the Broncos were like, okay, well, we're just going to keep rising.
Yeah.
We're not going to pivot. We're going to keep doing what's been working and has been working all game. And it's continued to work.
Well, they played right into the hands of our strengths, To beat our defense, you have to maintain a rushing attack the entire game. As soon as you have to come from behind and be in shotgun and push the ball like that offensively, our pass rush is going to get there. Like it's an inevitability if you allow us to play that style of defense. So they allow us to do it.
You can differ on that a little bit. Denver's defense, in my eyes, you guys could disagree. From first half to second half was totally different. First half, I felt like we were playing off a little bit, like, we're not doing this. And then it's like, okay, Vance, and if you can see the fury in Vance Joseph's eyes going for that 2-point and then not making it. And he's like, now we got to do this again. Like, kick the field, make it a 2-possession game. I'm not knocking. I hope you guys don't think I'm a hater. I promise you I'm not. I love the Broncos with all my heart. But play it smart where Vance Joseph doesn't have to come up and be like, now we got to figure out if they're going to go down and then get a 2-point conversion. Let them go down and then make it a second possession and make it worth their while to kick a field goal to even be in contention. So I did see frustration in Vance Joseph's eyes. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, there were a lot of different peaks and valleys, I feel like, to this game. It was a very competitive game, and, the first quarter did not act the same as the fourth quarter. We had a lot of micro games within the game. Let me get a couple comments here out of the way. We got D-Rock in the house. Fellas. Says LFG, let's go. Whoa, Bo. Dude, Bo had a stellar game. That's a whole, side note topic I want to hit here. Is just Bo in a general sense and what we've seen out of him. But appreciate you being here, D-Rock. We got Gary Neighbors in the house as well. Go Broncos. Broncos country all the way. Let's go. Appreciate you, Gary. And then we got Bronco Rob. Dude, he's got to be jazzed. I know he's jazzed. Like, he got to bear witness, like we all did, to the greatness.
I was on a live call with him, dude. He's pumped.
Absolutely. Ray Haas in the building. I like Grossi a lot, but it was beautiful to see him crushed at the end of this game. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hey, but nothing but love for Tom Grossi, who did give us a raid a few shows ago.
Yeah, that raid was crazy. I was on it with Rob, man, and that came through. So nothing but love for Grossi.
The Grossi Perna connection is amazing. I love both of those guys. Fantastic stuff, man. And then we got, obviously, the resident hype man, Shy Vargas, in the house. How about that, Broncos? So appreciate you being in.
It was your video that did it, bro. It was your video that did it.
Put us
all
over
right,
the edge.
Can I get some housekeeping out of the way there, J-Bob?
Yep, go for it.
Let's do it. All right, guys. Hey, we got a lot of people watching live right now. So if this is the first time you've been here or you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Make sure you sub on YouTube and set your profile. Yeah, set your profile to public so that we can see your name, so we can put your name into the drawing for the Bo Nix jersey giveaway. All right? Ding that notification bell so you don't miss any of our awesome shows that include Orange and Blue Blitz Monday and Friday at 11 in the morning. You got Broncos Bros on Monday evenings. You got the flagship show, the Nothing Rhymes Orange and Blue podcast on Tuesday evenings. You got the Mile High Sports Symposium on Wednesday afternoons with Doc and JT. Broncos Talk on Wednesday evenings. Thursday, you got the Mile High Oukast with that fool in the show with us right there, Mr. Tim Dog. Love him to death. We got Viva Los Broncos for the Spanish speakers on Friday. We got a breaking news podcast plus during, and post-game shows every single week. So make sure you check that out. One moment, please. Children, dude. He's sitting here. Dad.
Crotch goblins,
Anyway,
man.
I love him with all my heart. But man, he hears me. He hears that I'm talking, and he's like, All right. You got to show some love to the sponsor of today's show, too, okay? That would be Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. You can catch the link in the bio below. It will become your mouth's favorite energy drink because Dubby has 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine in every cup of Dubby. Not to kick you in the ass, get you going on your day, keep going on your day, but without getting the jitters or the crash later because Dubby has no sugar in it. It also has no calories or maltodextrin or fillers or artificial colors. It's all natural ingredients, and the caffeine is derived directly from the coffee fruit. So it is powerful. It is great. It is delicious. It is a dub, just like the Broncos just got. So go get yourself the dub, grab yourself some Dubby, and punch in code OBN10. OBN10 will let them know that the Orange and Blue Network sent you and get you 10% off your order at checkout. So make sure you show some love to Dubby.
Do not give it to your children, just as a recommendation. If you were on the fence or you were thinking about it, just don't.
Jay, did you do that?
No, I didn't. But I was just thinking about, my wild and crazy boys and yours as well, Johnny. And, Tim Dog, I know you live that dad life as well.
Yes, sir,
but no child needs extra energy. I will contest to that.
The difference is my oldest is 21. So I got 21, 16, 13, and 12. So it's a little easier for me to because they're older, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I got a podcast to do. Go to your room. Johnny's over there get out of here. I remember
change your own diaper. Get out of here.
I remember those days.
Yup. No, we live
Oy
that
vey.
life,
Oy vey, boys. Oy.
Wanna shout out a couple other things real quick here. D-Rock, shout out Adam Rank. Adam Rank is, obviously one of the fellas in Broncos country, always picking us. Even back in the day when he probably shouldn't.
Because he knows. Because he knows.
But we always appreciate, him coming
D-Rock,
with it.
D-Rock came through on Thursday and was leaving some great comments, even a Mile High Memory on one of our segments over there. D-Rock, much respect to you, bro.
Nice.
He's a man. D-Rock's been with us since the beginning, bro.
Yep, absolutely. And Bronco Rob coming in, haters and KC can suck it. And I will say the news is official. Busted up knee, ACL tore by Mahomes. They are already looking into different surgery options. So he's gone for the year. Kansas City's done for the year. Their dynasty is over. Kelsey, more than likely, retiring at the end of this year. So we've gotten over the hump, guys. We don't have to
weathered the storm, and here we are, boys.
Yeah. Knock on wood. We don't have to see, chicken leg Swift on my TV during a Bronco football game ever again. Thank God.
But Jay, I already asked Johnny and Rob this earlier. I'm not saying injury isn't injury, but didn't it kind of come out now this could be an excuse of why KC's not in the playoffs. And if they were, if Mahomes was healthy, do you think anything on that, or am I overthinking it?
No, I mean, they would have lost this game today regardless. Like, this injury didn't happen in the first quarter. Like, the game was decided, basically, when this happened. So, they would have been eliminated no matter what. And honestly, whether that happened or not, I truly think he probably would have been shut down anyways. Because if they're not going to the playoffs, I mean, think of how long of a run they've had. I don't remember
9
the
years.
exact number, but
9 years.
Think of all the playoff games in addition to the normal schedule that they have played. There is attrition to that to a certain extent. So, they're, I think, happy to take a breath.
They're not happy, but
they're not.
They're going to relish it a little bit in the end. They'll look back on it and go, it was nice.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, she's going to write a song about, the demise of the KC,
like I said in pregame, it's so nice to finally have the Wicked Witch of the West dead. It's over. So the house is falling.
Witch is dead. But no, look, let's just explore this for a second. 2 things happened today. 2 things that are great. The Kansas City Chiefs out of the playoffs for the first time in 9 years.
She gone.
The Broncos clinch in the same night.
Yeah,
they clinch in the same exact night that the Chiefs get tossed out.
Well, you should go 3. You should go 3, Johnny, because Patriots lost,
and they dropped back. So we're now a game ahead.
Yep.
In the number 1 seed race. Now, obviously, that can still change before the end. There's still more football to be played by both teams, but again, we are now solidly ahead of them. Now, no longer tied, waiting to see what happens.
While we're on the subject of around the NFL, I just though am a little frantic, and I just have a little bit of core fear in me that Buffalo and Baltimore are starting to get the wheels greased, and they're starting to kind of get things clicking. And I don't like either of those teams in a matchup against us. I could give 2 craps about Jacksonville. I mean, everyone else, I don't care. Like, even the Patriots, I don't care about. Whatever.
I totally agree with you, because those late start teams get rhythm. And if they're making the playoffs and going in hot, it doesn't matter on a 2-win team. Like, it doesn't matter, but at the same time, when you get hot, you get hot. They got to go through the wild card. They're not caring right now. They're looking to set an impact on what the playoff prediction is going to be. And once they get there, they want to take out the big name teams. So I agree with you on Jay. It does worry me as well. This AFC roller coaster is crazy. You look at the NFC, and it's all predictions, right? From week 1. You look at the AFC, and it was, oh my gosh.
Phillip Rivers almost pulled it out today. 44-year-old Grandpa River almost got a victory in Seattle.
It looked like he was. It looked like he was going to. Did not though. I thought he was going to win it.
But I want to comment though. I hear what you're saying. I do. They are starting to fire on all cylinders. But look who came to Denver today. A team at the top of their division in the NFC. A team that has been absolutely touted as a potential Super Bowl candidate. Yeah. Whose offense and defense were incredibly balanced. And we got the job done. I get that the Bills, I get that the Ravens, they are, you gotta be cautious about it. But I'm not scared. That's the thing. That's what I'm going to say is I'm going back to Sean Payton's thing. Who are you scared of?
Yeah.
I'm not scared of anybody.
You're not wrong. I mean, when you march yourself into Philadelphia and beat them on the road, that I believe was the first game that he said, like, who scares you now? Like, what now? Like, you've done it. You've done the hardest thing you could have. And there is no looking back, I feel like, for this team. I mean, this is the kind of game that is kind of the I wouldn't say morale booster, but kind of the you get a little bit more swag in your step
when they
on a
look
game like
at-
this.
Well,
after this.
well, the way that you put that
25,
is
this is
because,
game over.
like
We
you
were
said, you went into Philadelphia, you beat them, right? Super Bowl return team,
Champs.
and now we were underdogs in our
Yeah.
own field that we haven't lost on, and then we went and step by step, play by play, and we threw up how many points? And we showed, okay, so maybe some of you guys were right. Maybe Sean Payton was keeping a little something in his bag for the later part of the season because he knew he was going to win. So who haven't we beaten to be like, oh my gosh, Broncos are the number one team in the NFL. Johnny, you said this earlier. Haters are going to hate, right? I don't know if those are exact words, but I'm just saying we're never gonna get
There's gonna hate.
We're never gonna get glory here in Denver for what we do. But the thing is that from Sean and Vance to give that to Bo and PS2 and bring it down in the field to give it to the fans in Mile High, you know what, man? We're killing it and we're number one.
Look, you said it. We went to Philly on the road in their house, the defending Super Bowl champions, beat them. We went to Dallas, their house, where at the time they were the number one offense in the NFL.
We were at home.
I guess we were at home. You're right, but still,
Yeah, I was at the game.
Dallas, who at that time had the best offense in the NFL. We destroyed them. We went up against the Texans, who have, even though our defense has looked the way we have, continuously is still being called the best defense in the NFL. We beat them. We went up against the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending AFC champions, beat them. There is nobody in this league that I'm afraid of anymore.
No.
This team gets it done. They may not always get it done pretty, but it gets done. And ultimately, that is what leads to championships.
Yeah. And I want to go back on, a little tidbit you said, Tim, about how we were waiting for, Sean to go back to the greatest hits as far as play calling and get back to the bread and butter that, at least historically has moved this offense forward. And, ever since the bye, he kind of has. We've seen a resurgence of the, trust connection between Sutton and Bo, and just letting her fly and letting those two just find their way. Whereas in past times of this season, Sutton has been a complete no-show. We haven't even targeted him or highlighted him at all. We've also gone back to, oh my God, I saw some sightings of Mims in the backfield. That's a massive, massive deal, at least to me.
Yeah.
Even if it's not successful, it's just the thought process behind it. So
because it has to be accounted for. You got to account for that, man. And not only when Mims and Harvey are, I won't say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing. But when you get Mims and Harvey in on the same play, you know how nervous that defense is, man. Like
absolutely stress.
Yeah. What are we gonna do here? I mean, and again, we see both spreading the wealth. I mean, Sutton, Franklin, Humphrey, Mims, Bandy, Ingram, Bidet, Harvey, 8 different receivers in this game.
Yeah, but did you see at the beginning of the game, though, they were talking about Green Bay has the best percentage on man-to-man coverage, which Denver loves to run.
Surprised me.
And Vance Joseph really didn't back down from that challenge. In my eyes, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, you know what? You want to come, you're going to score some points. But that's where Vance Joseph looks at Sean Payton and be like, you need to put points up to win this game. So the collaboration of coaching on this, to me, this is, I know we got points put up on us, but I feel like the collaboration, all right, you can drive down the field a little bit, you can do this, but we're also going to drive down the field. So it wasn't all on Vance Joseph. Technically, all game, it was, halfway through the fourth quarter, I believe. But, you guys get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they got to get it's just simple. do your job. And they did.
Johnny, I feel like I failed Broncos country out there for You Want to Bet, because I didn't tell them to put their 401k down on Michael Bandy / Lil Jordan Humphrey touchdowns at the beginning of the game. Who had that on their bingo card for those two coming out swinging at the beginning of this game? Man, I was kind of disappointed to see Michael Bandy even lifted from the practice squad, let alone like getting the target for a touchdown. My gosh. But, leave it to Sean to like do the unexpected.
Do something crazy. Do something crazy.
He does. He's good for that at least a couple times a game.
But did you see what you could have won? Because I looked at it and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Again, he can't help himself, but to do something that's never been on tape. Like they know what I'm going to do. So I got to do something completely different, completely crazy. I got to shake it up. And, that can be positive, or it can be like the 4th down play where we give it to Prentice and hope and pray that he can,
make a 4th down run,
convert on a 4th down, which is the just dumbest thing in the world.
That was foolish. It was stupid.
It was super dumb. I'd be pissed if I was Lutz, because that was field goal range that you could have just ended the game and made it a 2-possession game.
You could have made it a 2-possession game with just kicking the extra point prior to that. You know what I mean? Like, there's multiple chances where we could have made it a 2-possession game.
Yeah. There's boneheaded things, but again, like, hey, 90% of it I'm smiling about, 10% of it I am side-eyeing. So,
it all worked out.
I'll take that ratio. So before we get, some balls thrown and, talking about the good times here, Johnny, I want to give you a platform to just kind of talk about Bo Nix. We saw one of the best Bo Nix games of his career. Spit me some truth serum, some truth bombs here about like just what your eyes saw of Bo Nix.
Look at him over there. He's ready.
Yeah, and then I sat up and those fractures in my spine did their thing, and I'm like, oh,
cracked.
Oh God, the pain is so real, boys. All right, Bohemothy Nix. No, Bo Nix, man. He is him. He's him. Is there even a question anymore? Really, in the eyes of Broncos country, is there even a question anymore if Bo is him?
Yeah.
I mean, Bo goes out there. He hears all the talk. I don't care what he says. I know he says, I don't have social media. I don't pay attention. He hears about it. He has publicists. He has an agent. They tell him what people say. People around him are going to tell him what they say. He's going to walk in the locker room on Monday, and one of his buddies, another player on the team, is going to walk up and be like, "Yo, did you see what this person posted on X about you?" He's going to hear it, whether he takes all measures to avoid it or not. It's like that episode of How I Met Your Mother where they try to avoid seeing the outcome of the Super Bowl. It's going to happen. It's eventually you can try all you want to avoid it, but it's going to happen. You're going to hear it. He hears all of it. And I guarantee you, he's a very self-reflective person. He feels all of it too. But rather than doing what a lot of guys do and just roll over, show your belly, and be that guy, he's like, no. I know what I'm capable of. I know who I am. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put it on tape. And he not only has done that the last 3 weeks in several different ways, but again, tonight was a statement. Tonight was a statement by him. Four passing touchdowns. Bo's like, I did this last season. I'm going to do it again this season. I don't do it every week, but I can do it. See, look, it's not a flash in the pan moment. Bo goes out 23 for 34. That's not bad against the Packers defense. Right? He was escaping the pocket constantly. They brought pressure. The pressure was on him all game, and he escaped. I don't even think, and he did not take a sack.
No sacks.
No sack on a Micah Parsons-led Green Bay Packers pass rush. Not one sack. He escaped the pocket. Every now and then he threw a ball where it was like, "Ooh, I might not have thrown that one." But and there was a few that he got a little got a little blessing from above on that they didn't turn out to be picks.
Yeah.
But ultimately, he moved the ball efficiently. He was commanding, he was smart, and he was accurate. And that is all you need to ask for to have a winning quarterback. And that's Bo Nix. 23 for 34, 302 yards in the air. Well, I guess 302 all purpose, right? Because some of that comes off his legs as well. He did run the ball a couple times.
Only 10 yards. A little bad beat again for me. Did not hit that 15.5 mark.
Yeah. 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 0 sacks. A passer rating on the day of 134.7.
Woo!
Bo is the guy. Bo is the guy. He's leading us to the promised land already, and I think he will continue to do so for years to come.
Yeah. Tim, here's your Bo Nix soapbox. What say you on the Bo Nix edition here today?
I say he's growing and maturing at a very pace, not rapid, but pace because of Sean Payton puts in these plays. I do think he needs to use his legs, utilize those a lot more, because there was a couple times he could have ran for a first down, and his percentage was on. So he's trusting his arm. He's figuring it out. Man, we're not even 2 years in yet with Bo Nix. Not even 2.
Yeah.
And we're the number one. We're not talking AFC. We're talking the number one team in the NFL, which defense had a great part to get us on that level. But the defense gave him a chance to be Bo. And now he's looking at Sean like, I got to open this up, and I'm going to show the world what I can do. His accuracy is, I believe, like 90%, like to lead a receiver. Sometimes he throws that ball behind, which is very scary. I believe he could have got picked off 2 or 3 times in this game.
2 times at least.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we didn't. Once again, I'm a Bronco fan to the end. But once I am a realist, I'm never going to come on here and be like, Bo's the greatest. He did nothing wrong. No, he threw some sloppy balls, and it scared the living death out of me. I'm sure all of us looked at it like, whoa, oh my gosh, thank that was not picked off. But for the most part, what he's doing is great. He's actually getting Sutton involved. Man, when he hit Sutton in that end zone, man, I'm like, thank you. This happened. Bo Nix is going to be a great quarterback in this NFL. We're only in the second year, and what we're doing now to go into the playoffs, potentially a Super Bowl run, is amazing. This dude is great. The only thing that pissed me off is during the game is when he threw a pass, and they're like, oh, that's a Mahomes move. And I'm like, you really you can't just say good. You can't just say Bo Nix killed it. You got to compare
Chris
it.
Collinsworth was even on the call, and I could still hear Chris Collinsworth's voice in my ears.
I mean,
Thank
that's
you.
Tony
Thank
Romo. Tony Romo and Jim Nance absolutely love Kansas
Yeah,
City.
and it's Romo, dude. And what gets me is Romo's very intelligent about the game. He's going to kick his leg up. That's what gets the snap, because they can't hear each other because they're in Mile High. Romo is very, very intelligent, but the way he talks about Bo Nix to lead to Mahomes pisses me off. But Bo Nix, great quarterback, man. He's leading his team, and I'm done with it.
I was going to say, Martin Mile High 303. Crowd was amazing today. Reminded me of the old Mile High days. Man, the crowd was nuts. You could definitely hear it, in full force. Obviously a sellout. There were no empty seats, whereas you pan over to that Kansas City game in KC, that was an empty, sad looking stadium for a majority of that game. Just so refreshing. It's like we live in Bizarro world. But man, Bo Nix for me, man, it relates kind of what you were saying, Johnny. is the fraud aspect. Everybody calling us frauds and saying that, we are not reflective of our record. I think that's more of like a representation of Bo Nix being a fraud. That they were talking about the Bo Nix record and, how many games he's won at home and like what his career record thus far is. And it sounds make-believe based upon what you would hear out of other people's mouths about what they think about Bo Nix. But, like you read the box score, Johnny, like his quarterback rating was insanity today. He looks efficient. I would say since the bye, there's a correlation between kind of what we were talking about of the Sean Payton, play calling, going back to the greatest hits and allowing Bo Nix to just, play within himself and go back to plays he knows that he's comfortable with. And magically, we have not seen the happy feet out of Nix anymore. We haven't seen him escaping pockets when there hasn't been pressure. Absolutely. His mechanics has greatly improved since the first, say, month of the year. I think it has rollouts. Yeah, it has a lot to do, I think, with Sean giving him a little more leeway and not giving him too much. I guess that's a really great way of saying it, is simplifying things and letting Bo think and act fast. There was one little part, it was the very first drive of the game where we had to call that timeout because we couldn't get our subs in quick enough. That was one of the disappointing parts. And I was like, ooh, we can't be having this again. Like we've seen this throughout this season so far, but really
especially at home.
But other than that instance on that first drive, like it seemed very smooth and it seemed very well organized as an offensive game plan. So it's a great reflection on Bo too.
I don't have the stats pulled up, but I believe 303 is the area code, right? I believe they ended up with 303 or all-purpose or offensive yards or something like that. Or am I mistaken?
Well, I originally thought Bo had threw for 303, but it's actually 302 now that I look at it now.
So they took one back. That's what it was.
I think so. I
because they're like 303 and the 303, and I was like, oh my gosh.
I saw that too, man. But let me get a couple more comments here. D-Rock saying, honestly, I'm feeling fearless after tonight. Baltimore, New England, motherfucking Mafia, bring it. Like, ain't nobody gonna rain on this parade. Like we are feeling ourselves. He's like, the only thing that should scare us is the mirror. And hey, we've been very well put together. We have not committed tons of penalties. We've actually been a really responsible team in that, not hurting ourselves and shooting ourselves in the foot. So hopefully that's something we can continue. Shy says we're coming for the crown. Yeah, man, it's been really good. It really has. It's felt right the last couple games. Again, kind of like what I said is like this was another version of last game versus the Raiders, but more aggressive in the same vein. Like we had some fireworks and we flexed our muscles a little bit more, whereas last game we were just a little more conservative in things. So it's nice to be able to see us put our foot on the pedal and give it some juice and see the results that we did today. Anything else on Bo Nix, boys?
He's killing it. He's gonna, we got Jacksonville, our last game at home before the playoffs. That's gonna be the game.
We still have the Chargers. We still have the Chargers at home.
We do.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay.
But like I said pregame, our goal is to make sure that game doesn't matter, and we can have a pseudo extra bye. So maybe we could have 2 weeks of a bye.
I've been saying that.
That sure would be nice.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, we go we take down Jacksonville. KC's not an issue. We rest for San Diego.
Yep.
Because New England lost. So if we can win these next two, we can take that break that last week and just
San Diego. Very much so. I mean, it's coming down the pike. So we've got our future ahead of us, boys. Like we create and control our own destiny. It's in our hands. So that's an exciting thing at this time of the year. getting into winter football. But with that, let's throw some balls around. We've got again, we got some fireworks in this game, so we should have plenty of highlights to talk about. But let's get into a little section of who's got the ball. All right, our favorite little post-game section of the show. Who's got the balls? A little game ball action. And there were some fantastic performances today. We've hit on some of them, but I'm gonna go ahead and say 3 balls each. But you can certainly do 2. That third is an optional if you so feel it in your bones to give a third. But Tim, I'm going to go with you to start out with. Where's your first game ball going?
Sutton, baby.
Ooh.
Sutton.
Wow.
Man. It is...
No build up at all, just Sutton, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
You go for it, Tim.
Dude, I've been begging for him to get a jump ball in the end zone, dude. I've been begging, and you think that he could have been irritated earlier in the season about not being targeted, this or that. Sutton these past 2 to 3 weeks has been more involved, and he's showing why he should be more involved. Sutton definitely has a game ball, and my dude, he's a top receiver in the NFL, despite what anybody else wants to say about him. Sutton has such talent, man. He's double teamed or not, route running, speed, power, height, jumping ability, all of it, dude. He's the perfect wide receiver for Bo Nix to get the ball to. So there's my game ball, my first game ball.
Fit is everything in the NFL. Fit. And he fits perfectly with what Bo Nix wants to do. And he's the perfect big body wide receiver that Sean Payton has loved throughout his entire career. So, man, he fits like a glove.
Like a glove.
I mean,
I wish I had a glove on.
Let's talk stats. Sutton, 7 for 10 for 113 yards. Average 16.1 yards per catch.
Good Lord.
And a touchdown. I mean, what a game from him. Absolutely deserves that game ball, Tim.
Clutch.
Did I medlock you, Johnny? Did I medlock you?
No, did not.
Okay.
You did not. I am, however, going at the same position.
Oh, I thought you were going Adam Prentice.
No, shut up. I told you that was going to be a one-time thing. All right? I was giving him his one-time flower.
Just checking in. Carry on.
Screw you, cuz.
That was good.
Anyway. No, I got to give one to Troy Franklin.
Good one.
Troy Franklin, excuse me, dog hair on my tongue.
Wolf.
Troy Franklin, absolutely, last season, we thought he was a wash. We thought he was a bust. Came into this season, he looked good in the preseason training camp. Had little bits of consistency, but we still kept seeing bricks for hands and dropped passes and things where you're like, dude, I get it. He was a rookie last year. He's a sophomore this year. He's still young, but your quarterback is your college quarterback, and you were his number 1 target in college. How are you not hauling in his passes? It was getting frustrating. And then tonight, you see him go 6 for 6. 85 yards, averaging 14.2 yards a catch and a touchdown. Dude, that is 6 for 6. That's all I need to see right there to give him a game ball. He was targeted 6 times. He caught it 6 times. No PBUs, which of course would hamper him, but didn't drop the ball and had over 80 yards and a touchdown. The guy deserves his flowers tonight. Him and Cortland Sutton both. What a tandem today. So I absolutely thought Troy Franklin earned that.
There was a point in the broadcast that Tony Romo was like making a big deal about how amazing Troy Franklin's hands were, and like how strong hands he has. And he's like, he just catches everything. And I just, again, like sat back and like, are we talking about the same player here? Like,
it just goes to show how little film he's actually watched on the Broncos over the last 2 years.
Correct. Like, man, like I know Troy has played an amazing game, and he hasn't. I mean, 6 targets, 6 receptions, like that jumps off the page. I get that, but like that has not been his MO for his career. And if only we could see that. We know that he has, lightning speed. We know that he's got great connection with Bo Nix, and we know that Sean Payton wants to feed him at times. Like, we've seen him go out of his way to highlight Troy Franklin. So, man, the progression of Troy Franklin in this offense, if he can catch the ball, I mean, he is going to be that number 2, the solidified number 2 on this team, far above Mims. And, frankly, above Pat Bryant, where we currently are as well. No slight to Pat Bryant, but I mean, Troy Franklin's the guy right now. I mean, so that's a great game ball.
What I will say about I'm not taking anything away from that. How I felt, he was not the number 1 target in like 3 of his passes. Bo checked down, and Franklin kept his route, which is amazing, which is a great game ball, Johnny. I would give that to you. But he wasn't the original target in my eyes. And to keep running your route, to make sure your quarterback has an outlet to go down and do that, great game ball.
That's what Sutton does. That's why Sutton and Bo trust each other so much, because Bo trusts Sutton to like keep the route going, go find open space, because I'm going to roll. I'm going to buy time. And Sutton knows to keep going. And I think there's instances where we don't see that out of Mims. If Mims isn't targeted,
gives up on the
Mims
play.
Isn't the primary, he's just, well, I'm done. I'm good. Like, so but Franklin's showing up when it matters in that regard. So those two guys, man, big stuff.
All right, Jay, it's your turn.
All right. So I'm going to go kind of weird here. I'm going a little weird, a little off.
Adam Prentice.
I mean, not close. No, I'm not even going to entertain that thought. It's not close what I'm about to say. But I'm going Dre Greenlaw. Okay, this is a little bit of a let's read beyond the box score kind of game ball, and I want to say it in this way. Our defense was amazing last year, right? But we didn't have bark to the bite. Like, we didn't have the talker, the guy that moved the needle from hey, I'm gonna literally punch you in the face if you wanna step up. And like, we finally have an enforcer, I guess, to put it in that way. Like, we have an enforcer finally. And Drake Greenlaw stepped up and defended Alex Singleton before we even saw a snap tonight. I don't know if you boys saw the warm-up fight.
I saw, but I didn't know what caused it.
It got going quick.
So the Packers were running onto the field, and one of the Packers ran in between Greenlaw and Singleton in the middle of them while they were stretching and like shoved Alex Singleton. And when that happened, Dre Greenlaw, the crazy person demon that he is, like, we remember the Giants game, he got suspended screaming at the ref after the game. He lost his marbles and just darted for this Packers player and got in his face, and that's what started this entire thing. So before we even started this game, Dre Greenlaw went out there and set the tone that, like, oh no, I don't care that your offense is blah, 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 and like, you guys think you're, top NFC team here. Like, you've never seen this defense. And Greenlaw just steps up, and he's been able to, I feel like, kind of get acclimated to this defense. And because, he didn't get to play for the beginning of the season because of the injury. And we're finally starting to see the leadership qualities and the dog in him come through. And it's coming into, again, winter football and this time frame where, bend don't break defense needs a spark every once in a while. And we need a guy to like go spit in the face, figuratively speaking.
Not Romo.
But like, man, I'm just so excited to have that TJ Ward guy, that Aqib Talib guy that is just all about the fight. And like, I'm so happy Dre Greenlaw's on our team, and it's going to pay dividends once we get into the nitty gritty of playoff football. So giving Dre Greenlaw the nod today.
I like that.
brother.
I like that. Greenlaw's been very injury prone and whatnot, but when he's on that field, he's stepping up for everyone that he's surrounded by. He's going to be that guy, like a Romanowski guy. He's going to be a Von Miller guy. He's going to be there to step up for any player, no matter what little tit-tat happens. You're not going to come into Denver and punk us. So I like that, Jay.
If Crew Talk Sports is out there, belt to ass. He is the belt to ass player. And I absolutely love
brother.
him.
He's big brother. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he's that guy who just has that naturally protective instinct. He probably would have made one hell of an offensive lineman, to be honest, with his protective instincts. But when he sees someone that is, you know, whether they're friends, you know, or whether they're close, someone disrespects someone on his team, he's like, nah, not on my watch.
No, we'll be friends after the game, but not during the game.
Yeah, but right now I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yeah,
because you know you gave you gave one of my boys the side eye or something. He's big brother, showing up to defend his little siblings, and I love that. You're right. He's a dog, and he gets in a little trouble for it from time to time.
Hey, that's okay.
But again, you know, you've heard my story about high school, about being in high school, and when we got into a fight, and the coach cut dudes from the team for not fighting.
Because, every football team needs a psycho. Every football team.
So good. That's a great game ball.
All right, Tim Dog, you're up.
PS2, baby.
Woo!
Coming.
Mitlocking me. All right. Go ahead.
You got Medlocked!
Go ahead.
Let me gather my thoughts again. PS2. A takeaway interception, which is due for so long that we wanted, right? Takeaways. Our offensive line is always doing what they got to do. Our linebackers blitzing, but now our secondary. You can look at PS2 as like, oh my gosh, is he gonna get hurt? Because when he went down, I was out of breath. I'm yelling and screaming at the TV all game long. When PS2, I had no clue what was going to happen, and that is huge. He stepped up after injuries, came back in, and is playing the fullest ability that he can possibly play. He's playing man-on-man with the number one wide receiver from any team. And he's like, come on. Who does that remind you of? Champ Bailey. He got Bailey instincts in him that shuts down a whole side of the field, which is amazing. Because when you look at him, he's so humble. He's not.
He's quiet. He don't talk smack. He doesn't need to. He lets his play speak for itself.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what makes it more interesting. When he just walks away from a ball or he gets a pick or whatever he does or just shuts down that side of the field, he just goes back and does what he has to do. What a great humbleness to his perfectionist that he brings coming off of a defensive player of the year, off an injury nonetheless, to still just be like, you know what, I'm just out here to do my job. So my second game ball, Jay, will go to PS2.
Yeah, man, that's a fantastic game ball. He is the game changer on this entire roster. He's the best player on this roster. He comes and he makes plays exactly when he has to. He is one of the most clutch players we have on our team. You know, like we have, I'm starting to relate him a little bit, honestly, to, you know, the past history of the Avalanche, Joe Sakic. Joe Sakic wasn't necessarily the best player on the team at all times, the way PS2 is, but every time the team needs a moment, he's there. He is the moment maker. And, like I said, every team needs a psycho. Every team needs a moment maker. The team all looks down the aisle to that one player if they need a moment. And, that's the guy. That's the guy that's going to bring that moment to us. And PS2, man, he's a great moment maker. I'm super happy to have him. Johnny,
I love the comparison to Sack. I love the comparison to Sackett.
Yeah. Mr. Captain, man.
Oh, Captain, my captain?
Yep.
I don't even need to elaborate on PS2. I don't. I mean, I'll toss out a box score for him real quick. 4 total tackles, all 4 solo, 1 pass defense, and an interception. I mean, there's nothing else that needs to be said. PS2 is PS2. He is who he is. He is the best, and nobody can deny that. And
the less the better. The less stats, the better in a cornerback position. You know what I mean?
Just that INT.
Yep. Now I that means I guess it's my game ball now.
It is,
and I'm almost following suit. The first go around, Tim gave a wide receiver a game ball. Second go around, I gave one to a wide receiver.
Tim, second one someone's copying off you.
No, second one, Tim gives one to a cornerback. I'm also going to give one to a cornerback. Because if you're going to mention PS2 and what he accomplished in today's game, you have to give one to Riley Moss too. Because his stat lines were almost identical. In fact, a little bit better. Riley Moss tonight, yes, he had that PI. I think that one was not so much on him as it was just the wide receiver making something happen. That being said, Riley Moss, the great white wonder, comes in 4 total tackles, same as PS2. 4 of them solo, same as PS2. An interception, just like PS2, but he had 3 passes defensed to PS2's 1. So, given the fact that you're going to give that game ball to PS2, in this particular instance, I have to give one to Riley Moss as well, because they literally shut down the passing game the same way in this game. So, well done, Riley Moss.
Yeah,
great hand. Boxing gloves are working.
The reason he has more passes defended is because they're targeting him more, which is awesome that he's able to defend them. Great game ball.
I do get that. Yeah, I do get that aspect of it. I do understand what you're saying there. Yeah, he's targeted more, therefore more PDs. However, how many of those could have gone for receptions? Yeah. That's my thing. Well, three compared to defense, 3 passes in one game is nothing to slouch at, and he did it. So I gotta give him that game ball.
For a player that gets picked on, he succeeds when he's getting picked on, compared to someone like last year's Levi Wallace that gets picked on, and Jerry Jeudy has a career day. Those are 2 drastic combinations of when players get picked on. It can go, hot and cold. But Riley Moss, he steps up under pressure, and my God, there's a lot of pressure on him every game there is.
Definitely.
All right, Jay, your game ball, bro.
I mean, I feel like I just need to toss out the obvious one, and it's gonna go
the one that we've been
10.
avoiding.
Number 10. I mean, 4 touchdowns, no picks. 134.7 quarterback rating is bonkers. Man, he seems in control. He seems like he is the perfect conductor for this, offense at this point in time. He's getting the ball out a lot quicker when asked to, throw a rhythm throw. And then when he sees an opportunity to scramble and to kind of buy more time, he's doing that and allowing his wide receivers to find some room. I selfishly would really like him to start running the ball in some of those instances and just bailing and going. But at the end of the day, that's not what Sean Payton wants him to do, I guarantee. Because at the end of the day, our season's over if Bo Nix gets hurt. And we need to keep him in the long run for a playoff run. That's something that, again, we talk about the plays that, Sean just keeps in his back pocket and he just wants to hold on to and doesn't want on film. The mobility game of Bo Nix is just that. That is, only, break glass only for under emergency kind of, thing. So we don't necessarily need that against a NFC team on a random Sunday. Let's save the dynamic vanilla Nix for when we need him in the playoffs. So I'm okay with that right now. Gentlemen, what do you think about Bo Nix?
I mean, we already kind of went through our soapbox statements.
We did.
Not much else I can say.
Yep. He's stellar, man. So I'm so glad that he's the leader of our team.
If we're going to do 3 game bowls, can I get mine out real quick?
Yeah,
no, this is a family show, Tim.
You go ahead. I mean, please, one at a time. Don't put them both out at the same time. Like, give us a second to breathe.
Go
ahead.
I'm going to do something a little bit out of the box. It's no one under that was playing on the field or coaching. I'm going to give my 3rd game ball to Johnny Mile High Viking. The week that you've had, man, and still set up shows for us and pulling a marathon off. I don't want to put all your business out there, brother. That's up to you. But I really want you to know that me and my daughters, we lit a candle, we said a prayer. Bro, everything that you're going through, I want to give that game ball to you, Johnny, and with much respect on it because, this network bleeds orange and blue for you, and we're willing to pick up the slack. But it's not the same without you, brother. You know what I mean? You came in, you did a marathon today. After everything that you've been through, we shared a little give and go the other day on Thursday morning when I told you about my nerve damage right here. This is kind of why my neck goes like this sometimes. And Johnny, man, I really appreciate everything you do for all of us. Not only the podcasters, but for all the networkers, all the fans out there. For you to get through what you're going through and still do a marathon, bro, my game ball goes to you.
Who? Bro.
Sorry, bro. If I was too emotional, I'm sorry.
No, bro, that you punched me right in my feels. And I'm actually fighting back. No shit. Fighting back some tears at the moment. And this time it's not because of pain. Like you really just hit me right where I have my feelings. And
I love you, brother.
I love you too, man. And that means the world to me. To your words, they absolutely just blew me away. And to know that, because I work my butt off to keep this network going, and to have to be recognized in such a way, that, dude, nothing but love, Tim. I mean, bro, that literally meant the world to me. And for those that are wondering what he's talking about, I have no problem putting my shit out there. I've always been very transparent on this network. Found out this week. I suddenly felt nothing but searing pain down my left leg, which is where I already had severe nerve damage of the left ankle. And then I basically couldn't use my leg anymore and went to the hospital, and it was found that I have multiple fractures of my spine. And I'm going through incredible amounts of pain, the inability to walk. Suddenly I'm wheelchair bound for the first time in my life. For the last 2 days, I've been in a wheelchair, and it's been the weirdest feeling in the world. Seeing that there's a possibility that my life will change drastically from here, it's been terrifying. So, but I still wanted to make sure that we got these shows out. And so I appreciate that so much, Tim. That meant the world to me.
Bro, in all honesty, man, it's not just to you, it's to your wife, man. I met your wife. She's a great woman. And I know you got kids. And you got to take care of us too, man, because we're all trying to go every night. And there was a certain instance when you called me Thursday morning, and I was like, man, are you all right? Are you all right? You're like, there's a chance. And then you still made it happen. So for everything that you do for this Orange and Blue Network, man, that's my third game ball. Johnny, please, please know from the bottom of my heart, me and my daughters got nothing but love for you, bro.
Yeah.
It's on my shelf.
It's a full workload, to do what you do on a daily basis just to get, everything scheduled and thumbnails and all that jazz aside from, outside life circumstance. Like just when things are perfectly fine, that's a lot in and itself. So, yeah, man, that's a great game ball, Tim. Very much agree.
Thanks,
and, multiply that again. So I feel the same.
Thanks, guys. It means a lot.
Very much so.
Well, Johnny, you're next, right?
Yeah,
how the hell do I follow that one?
Give yourself another game ball.
Yeah.
No, I'm not giving myself a game ball. I'm not giving myself a game ball. Who am I, Coach Prime? Anyway.
Yeah.
No.
How the hell do I follow that? My bad, Johnny. I should have went last.
Yeah,
Hey,
dude.
Coach Prime catching strays out here too. Poor Coach Prime. He's already down. Did you see Shador today? Sad stuff, man.
Yeah, it was pathetic. Pathetic. All right. Oh, shoot. Wow. I mean, all right. I've got to give one. I'm going to give a broad one, though. I'm giving one to Broncos country. That stadium, those fans, live there, they affected that game so much. I mean, you could see Jordan Love just being like, oh, God, I can't hear you. What? Yeah, I mean, they had to call timeout twice on one drive because they couldn't hear the play call. And whenever we saw camera angles from stadium levels and stuff like that, they were shaking. And it's Broncos country, showing up every game, doing what they do, being as loud as possible, I know it's a Seattle thing that they call it, but being the 12th man, being the difference maker. Broncos country deserves a game ball for this win because this was an important one. This was a hard one. And this one, they made a difference in it. So Broncos country as a whole, game balls to you.
12 straight at home. That's insanity.
Say it again, Jay.
12 games. Guys, there were times that we didn't win 12 games in, 3 seasons. Like we've been down so bad for so long that I don't want to become numb to this feeling of these crazy records falling and us being the best team in the NFL. My game ball. Can I do just a hierarchy game
Let's
ball to the Penner Walton family group?
Yes.
Because from top down, we have completely transformed this entire organization back into the winner that they should be, back into the standard that Pat Bowlen set out for us. We have done so many amazing things, both on and off this football field, that I'm so proud to be a Bronco fan again. I'm just so jazzed to be able to speak about a team that is just, making all the right decisions and doing all the right things and doing it the right way. We don't have a bunch of players getting arrested, getting felonies, Kansas City. We don't have players that are problem children that, are in the news for bad reasons. So we're doing it not only with,
look at you, Rasheed Rice.
Yeah. We're doing it with high quality football, but we're doing it with high quality people as well.
High quality character.
Yeah. Game ball to the totality of the organization, as the Canadians say.
Love it.
Yep.
That's great.
All right, boys. Any other honorable mentions? Just, I guess we're kind of wrapping up the game in and itself, but just kind of any big picture thoughts, about tonight and just what this game represented.
I'm going to say that I hate my brother George because he got to go to the game and tailgate with Libre. I love both of you guys with all my heart. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a little jealous I wasn't there. So I'm gonna go off a little salty and be like, I wasn't there when it's literally 15 minutes away from my house, and you know what? But in all honesty, I saw the pictures and videos that George sent me. He was tailgating with Libre. Libre, man, you're such a big part of this network and a tailgater Bronco community. George, you're my brother with all my heart. Last night we went to Winterfest over here at the Thornton Rec Center, and I had all my kids. He had all his kids. Well, we were one short on both, but we still had 6 kids deep in, and we went and watched the fireworks and did all that. And George showed up this morning without announcing himself, no call, no nothing. He was like, "Let's do a shot for the Broncos," and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah." So that was my tailgate. So much love to Libre and George.
All right. Final thought. I'm going to end the show the same way I started it when you gave me my first platform tonight on this show. Say fraud again. Say fraud again. Because we are not frauds. The Denver Broncos are here. We are here. We are staying. We are at the top, not just of the division, not just the conference, but the league. And from this moment on, I swear, I'm going to crucify every person on Twitter I hear call us frauds. Because I'm done. I'm done hearing it. We've proven you wrong. The Broncos have proven everybody wrong. Get the hell over it. Yep. The Broncos are here. They're here to stay. We are on the march to Super Bowl 60. 10 years removed from an iconic, Super Bowl, milestone. We are on our way back.
Yeah.
And just watch out, because now everybody talks about Arrowhead and being afraid to play at Arrowhead. Everybody should be afraid to play at Mile High.
Yep.
It's that simple. We are here. We are loud. We are proud. We are not frauds.
Yep. No, it's so true. So true. And I'm going to pretty much mirror that exact same thought for my last thought of, we better get some respect here around this league, because at the end of the day, we've heard the whole narrative about, strength of schedule and that's kind of the basis of the fraud argument. But the same thing's been tossed around in New England. And, if we're really trying to be compared to New England for top number 1 seed for the AFC, well, today's a perfect representation of, in my opinion, where these two organizations are going. Maybe we've had an easier schedule, but you know what? The Broncos keep beating.
They have.
Well, we're up there as well, but we keep beating the top opponents that we have faced. Like, our losses aren't against, the top teams that we've played against. But again, today we beat an NFC leading, Packer team. They are in the discussion for a Super Bowl. And the Patriots lost today against Buffalo. A relevant team that is a good team. And we prospered today, and, the Patriots did what they did. They lost in kind of embarrassing fashion. So, we need to be in higher regard when we talk about these playoff teams and who's in the hunt. We should be leading the way and leading all conversations. We deserve it, and we've earned it. We've earned it. So
put some props on it.
Yeah, put some props on it. And you're absolutely right, Jay. But you know what? On this Orange and Blue Network, whether it's Mile High Oukast or Broncos Talk or Broncos Bros or whatever it is, we hold it down for these Broncos because we know what's happening. Because if it wasn't the latter, right, we're all, none of us are too big to admit that the Broncos aren't that good. None of us are. But they are that good. So if
we don't have to lie to ourselves.
If mainstream media wants to push us to the side, let them, bro. Let them. Because this Orange and Blue Network is going to let everybody know what we thought from week 1 to the playoffs, Super Bowl bound, and go get what we got to get.
All 3 of our final thoughts. there's some hot take, some big time, silence there. So that's a great way to close her out, guys. We're going to have a heaping help in the coverage on this game and looking forward to the next game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Playoffs are in the horizon, and it's so nice to continue to stack dubs against teams that, theoretically will be in the playoffs as well. So great victory. Again, 34-26 over the Green Bay Packers. Really appreciate you gentlemen being here. Johnny, a special thanks to you, the marathon man, going all the way through the gauntlet. All 3 shows, that's a tough task in itself, not considering your life situations as they stand right now anyway. So big kudos to you, but appreciate you boys. Like I said, hope you have a phenomenal weekend. Broncos country, soak it in. We have the best team in football. Let's go, Broncos country. Up your feelings.